everyone, I'm your teacher Ana Maria, and today I am going to explain you a writing process. This is something we have done in class before the pandemic, but I want you to remember because it is going to be useful for you for the activity you are going to do for this week. Also, it is going to be useful for you because writing processes and speaking processes are similar. So you can apply the writing processes to create, and to plan an oral presentation if you want. Okay. So the idea is that you apply this writing process in your speaking experience. So let's go to the writing process. And here you're going to remember the writing processes for a narrative test. It is important that you know that it is not only for narrative test. You can apply this for writing an essay, for writing an argumentative test, or for writing a presentation about dogs or cats or whatever you want to do. Examples and explanations to guide you and tools to help you with your vocabulary. So, in this process, we have these 5: brainstorming, pre-drafting, drafting, revising, and editing, which are together, and publishing. So, let's revise how to write a story. So, again, I'm going to make emphasis that this is not only for writing stories. This can be useful for preparing and for planning an oral presentation about any topic. Okay, so the first thing and the ideal thing to do is to do a brainstorming process. Okay, brainstorming your ideas in relation to a topic. So, for example, here we are going to talk about something specific in a country, which is Turkey. And what are we going to talk about? How is dining and the etiquette when you are going to eat something in this country. So the first thing you have to do is to write all your ideas, yes, and write them down in a piece of paper or in your computer if you want. And then you begin to organize them. Remember, when you organize them, the ideal thing is that you organize all your ideas in a mind map. So, for example, or in any kind of graphic organizer. So, for example, we have here our ideas about eating in this country, topic, host, Turkey host and diner, and all the ideas I got. So this for me is one main idea, and this one is another main idea. You can classify your ideas by colors if you want. You can create connections between one idea and the other. And this is important for you to organize all your thoughts, what you are going to say during the presentation, and what you're going to say while you write, and so that you don't forget anything. It is important to emphasize that this is not a strict plan. For example, when you begin to write, if you are writing and any other idea comes to your mind, you can add it, okay? Or if you are writing and something that you thought was going to be useful is not useful anymore, you can erase the idea. It doesn't matter, okay? Now, the second stage of the writing process is the pre-drafting. So when we are writing a narrative text, we have to take into account these: the character, the context, the conflict, and the topic. Okay? And the idea is to do something like this. Characters who are going to be the main characters of your story. Context, where it is going to happen. Conflict, who is going to pay for what is going to happen, and the topic what is going to happen. So this is for a narrative test. But if you want to do, for example, a planning about an argumentative essay, you can use also this. So for example, in the first place, you will have to place the topic. And the conflict, what are you going to talk about? What are you going to be your main ideas? The context could be your example to support your ideas, and the characters could be your summary or your conclusion about the topic. So as you can see, you can uh, take these strategies, this process, and adapt to another process that you want, to a writing process or to a speaking process. Then we have the drafting. For the drafting, you need to think about the ideas that you are going to write or to explain in each part. Okay, so for example, for narrative test, we have the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. This is almost the basic structure for any oral presentation or written test. You have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. And you begin to organize your ideas in a more organized way. Then we have our ideas. Look here that we have our introduction in green, our body in blue, and our conclusion in orange. Then you have to revise your story or your writing or your presentation, okay? If you are going to use these strategies to plan an oral presentation, it is important for you to practice 2 or 3 times your presentation before making the real presentation. Why? Because it is important for you to revise if you have the structure, if you have a good language, and if all the content that you want to show is there. And for example, for the written test, it is also important to revise the structure, that we have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Language, that we don't have any spelling mistakes, and that all the information that we wanted to include, the content, is there. And then we have to edit. So revising and editing is something that we are going to do at the same time. Okay, we are going to, while we revise, we can also edit. So for example, what you have to edit, your spelling mistakes, if you have any ideas wrong, if something was incomplete, and if you didn't name the name of your characters, for example, or if you didn't explain your main point of view regarding the topic, for example. Once you edit, it is important for, in the case that of written and oral test, that someone helps you. Okay, if you have a friend or someone who is with you at home who can help you with this in your Spanish or English presentation, do it. Present your presentation before to someone. So to your mother, to your father, to your sister, your brother, your dog, your cat, someone. Okay, because it is important for you to have another point of view. Maybe you think that you are doing all your ideas right, that everything is perfect, and the other person maybe is going to tell you, no, you are missing some explanation. You didn't finish this idea, for example. Once you are absolutely sure that you have all the things you have to publish your story. If it is a written assignment you have to do, publish is to again write down all your information with all the perfect handwriting with no mistakes, with your name, the date, and all the things that you need to add if you have to add uh, drawings or something. And if you are going to do and to record an oral presentation, your publish is to upload your presentation in the corresponding space. These are some useful tools that maybe you will need. So how to find different vocabulary, for example, to make the transitions. Remember the linking words; they are important. Use them. I have here some of them. To start, for example, for one thing, to start with at the beginning, that is starting, when, initially, as soon as, to short, begin, for example, to make the transition, next, then, later, later that, after that, meanwhile, also, and to conclude, finally, at the end, at last, in conclusion, all in all, in the end, and last. And you have many others in your notebooks, so please use them. And thank you. Let your imagination fire free. This is all for today's class. If you have any questions, please do them in your Google Teams space. Bye.